Welcome everybody to today's seminar. My name is Nigel Watts and I'm the Managing Director for Prota Software based out of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We're currently, like many of our users, locked down. We're all working at home and staying safe. And we thought that while we've got this opportunity and perhaps everybody's not so busy with their daily routines, that we'd actually try and share some of the experience that we've gained with developing the software over the years. So my job today is perhaps not just to take you through what we've been doing with the technology, but just also to share a bit of knowledge as we progress along the way. So I'll join you later. I'll come back to you. I'll just turn my webcam off, and then we can get in and start today's session. So a bit of about today's agenda. I'm just going to talk briefly about the Prota Group. We're quite an interesting organisation, and I'm also going to then just describe the software solutions for those of you who are new to us, and we're then going to move in to doing a live demonstration. Now, this is actually the second time we've presented this. We had an overwhelming response last week when I put the event together, so much so that we actually ran out of places on the event. But today I can see that there's a healthy number of people who have come in, and I'm going to revisit what I covered last week. But for those of you who did attend last week, don't be disappointed, because I tend to mix things up a little bit as I present. So I'm going to cover other interesting things during the course of the session. So I'm going to do a live demonstration, and then I'm going to, for the existing users who are out there who didn't catch up with us last week, I'm going to take you through some of the new functionality that we've introduced progressively over the last couple of updates. So without further ado, let's get into the webinar. Prota is actually part of a bigger group of companies. We just don't develop software. We're also part of a very successful engineering and consulting practice. And we also get involved with distributing other products and other technologies around the world. So Prota was set up in 1985, and as I mentioned, it's a range of different businesses here. I'm involved with the Prota Software business. We also have a successful engineering and architectural practice, and we do distribute other products, as I mentioned, like Autodesk products, Revit, and the like. We're the largest, one of the largest platinum resellers in Europe. So Prota was set up in 1985, and it's got an interesting history. We first commercialized the software, which at that time was called Probina Orion, back in 1992. So it's been interesting how it's evolved over the years, with many thousands of users around the world taking advantage of the technology. I guess one of the key dates was back in 2015, when we redeveloped the underlying platform from what was old technology to introduce ProtaStructure, and that's evolved tremendously over the last 5 years into what is now a very powerful system for delivering building design. So a bit about the company. We are a group of approaching 400 professionals, mainly engineers and architects, and have been practicing and delivering software for many years. The software business also has many valued partners around the world. We actually operate in over 15 countries presently and growing. And this user base, this network supports over 10,000 users of the software globally. Now, we also have a very active interest in research and development, and we have published numerous technical papers that we also get involved with research, particularly in the areas of seismic engineering, retrofit design, rehabilitation of structures, some of the key specialisms that we have within our organisation. And these are also available on our website if people are interested to find out more about that. So this interaction with research and development also finds its way into the software, especially in the areas of seismic design where we're very strong. So I mentioned that we're growing as a business. It's quite an exciting time for us. We've been expanding quite rapidly over the last few years, and we now have 10 offices around the world, and we also engaging with many partners across Europe, Asia, and we're starting to move into the Americas as well, and a really exciting market in Africa. The engineering side of the business is actually very important to us because, like many of you out there, we are also delivering projects, and Prota Engineering has delivered projects in over 30 countries around the world. And this understanding of project delivery and what's important in terms of design finds its way into the software. So we've been involved with delivering some really interesting projects over recent years. The metro stations, much of the metro in Istanbul, as well as in Eastern Europe, we've been involved with designing. We did recently finish the new international airport in Istanbul. This is the largest terminal building in the world, and the delivery of this was a very tight schedule and posed numerous challenges. And the software allowed this to be actually delivered ahead of time in what was a very demanding project. We've designed other interesting buildings around the world, numerous airports, high-speed rail facilities, industrial and civil structures we've been involved with. A really interesting mix of projects that have been used within our practice. So this has helped shape the software, but I guess what's also extremely important is the feedback that we get from our user base. We have thousands of users around the world, and some of them are very vocal, and that's fantastic. And this is something that we incorporate into the product as it's been evolving over the years. So today I'm going to talk about ProtaStructure 2019 SP7. We've been progressively introducing new updates to the platform. So the development in a way has evolved, and it's not just a case of us annually releasing a new version, or maybe with one or two service packs. We're now constantly developing and releasing new functionality into the platform as it evolves. So over the course of the last 3 or 4 months, we've actually introduced 2 or 3 major service packs, which have introduced a lot of new functionality that we've wanted you to start to enjoy. Now, Prota platform is made up of 4 main components, and I'll talk about those in more detail, but in general terms, ProtaStructure is for analysis, modeling, analysis, and design. We have ProtaDetails and ProtaSteel, which allow you to produce both your concrete and steel drawings and steel connection design. And we have ProtaBIM, which allows us to integrate with other BIM platforms like Revit and IFCs or ArchiCAD and the like, seamlessly communicate with those platforms. So ProtaStructure, what's the concept? Well, it's a structural BIM design solution for both steel and concrete structures. And the idea is that we're working with physical objects, physical modeling, to develop models very quickly. And from that, we can then automate the analysis and detailed design to a range of different codes around the world. Now, once we've completed the design, everything is then documented, both in terms of calculations as well as the drawings. And for the drawings, we use ProtaDetails and ProtaSteel. And as I mentioned, if we're wanting to integrate models with other BIM platforms, we have links into Revit. Now, I guess our users tell us that they like this because it's easy to use, it's very intuitive, as you'll see, and it also helps them drive productivity. They're able to deliver projects significantly faster and more accurately and economically than they would be able to using conventional methodologies. So ProtaDetails takes the model from ProtaStructure, and then it then takes the design and automates all the drawing production. So all your key plans, elevation sections, right from the roof right down to the foundations are created within ProtaDetails. It's also a complete CAD system, and you can happily draft in it as well. Now, ProtaSteel, on the other hand, allows us to take information from ProtaStructure and then move this into designing the connections and producing all the detailing. And I'll touch on these systems during the course of today. Now, BIM's increasingly important, and because we are a physical model, a physical structural BIM design-based model, we're able to seamlessly communicate this with other platforms like Revit, ArchiCAD, Tekla, IFC links, and all this are available within the platform. And because it's physical, this is very seamless and easy. So if you've got drops and offsets and opening, all those types of things are very easy to communicate back and forth. And the idea is that you can send models out to, say, Revit, where we have bespoke links, and you can start the process of coordination on your project. So you may be sharing it with an architect or other project team members. You can take the model into Revit. You can sit down and coordinate things within Revit. If there's changes, models can be updated and then communicated directly back into ProtaStructure. And you can do this as many times as you like to coordinate your projects. What I did want to also cover is just very quickly what's new since our previous service pack. There's actually a lot. We've done a lot in the last few months. We've introduced performance-based assessment and design. For users who are working in high seismic zones, this will be very welcome. This covers things like nonlinear pushover and nonlinear time history analysis. You can base this on existing design that's already been done from ProtaStructure, or you can predefine steel within the model based on site survey. We use quite a sophisticated nonlinear fiber analysis model where we use distributed plasticity to create the model that we feed OpenSeas. It will then carry out the performance-based design and produce a range of different reports. So if you're doing static pushover, you can look at different capacity reports, whether it's for life safety or immediate occupancy. You can look at these reports. Any stage can be reviewed, and we'll create detailed assessment. For nonlinear analysis, the interesting thing that we do is that you can load different earthquake events from around the world, and we will automatically scale these for you. So you can, depending on the code requirements, maybe you're using 7 or maybe 11 different events, we will automatically scale these against your required response spectral curve for design. Okay, and we will look simultaneously in different directions at these as well. And we will also assess this against code requirements. Okay, so if you are looking at doing performance-based assessment of buildings, this is an invaluable tool, and I'm sure that you'll find this very, very helpful, particularly because we prepare all the data for you and we will do all the post-processing. So normally if you have to do these yourself, this can be extremely time-consuming. We've introduced new 64-bit architecture for the analysis, and this has introduced significant speed and performance enhancements. This is coupled together with our new post-processor, analysis post-processor. Have a go with this. This is a new processor that's going to be used with the 2020 version. Modeling performance has also been significantly enhanced. If you've got large models, you'll see a much faster, much improved performance of these, particularly if you're getting around models and making changes and editing, you'll see that this is significantly faster. If you're doing complex arrangements, maybe you've got eccentric transfer floors where you've got columns sitting on the edge of, say, wide transfer beams, there's tools now available where we automatically can pick this up and consider the torsional effects in the design of that beam. So if you do need to mark the column as a transfer column, and then that will automatically be taken care of. We've enhanced the automatic buckling length calculations for the steelwork. Purlins can now automatically provide restraint, okay, and you can end up with more efficient design. We've also got new deflection checks. So these are both code-based as well as user-defined, and depending on the element within the model, you can specify various deflection limits. And there's lots of flexibility that we've introduced with being able to model and define different types of configurations, both trusses as well as purlin systems. Retaining wall design has been enhanced, and there are new stability checks that we've introduced. These will be particularly useful in seismic zones. We've also been working a lot on the detailing, and you'll see with Service Pack 7, as you would have seen with 6 and 5, that the detailing has improved tremendously within ProtaDetails, particularly in elements that are things like sloping, with openings, with tapers, these types of things. We're using precision detailing to create now. And don't forget to check out the component design within the library. I know I didn't touch on this today, but we design and produce all the detailing and all the drawings for these as well. Now these just don't stop at the component design. You can also use this to create details for things like culverts, lift pits, foundations, beams, and so on. There's tools in there to help you with drawing as well. Now, I just finished touching on ProtaSteel. In the new update, you'll see that you now have the ability to be able to find checker plate, stairs, handrails can be set up. We've continued to increase the number of connections that are designed within the platform. We almost have full coverage now, where we're designing and producing all the reports. So this includes fan page moment connection, beam column welder joint, simple base with stiffness, moment Hortz connections, and there's these are added to the many other connections that we're designing and documenting within the system. We're also automatically dimensioning axes and key plans, and we've enhanced the leaders and annotation of connection details to make this more seamless for you. Don't forget to take advantage of IntelliConnect. So this is a fantastic tool, as you've seen, for being able to design and detail your steel work very rapidly, and a really amazing technology. And if you get the opportunity, you're doing a bit of steel work, take a look at this. For those of you who are doing a lot of steel work, you can set up preferences. So for different types of jointing preferences, as well as different company standards, you might have, for example, a fin plate connection. You might want to have a minimum number of 3 bolts, for example, for a certain type of section. That can be customized to suit your requirements. All the design reports, as I mentioned, are documented. You can visualize these as well. They're all color-coded. So in the model, if you want to see if something's been designed, you can choose the visualization, and you can see whether that's satisfied the code or not. Obviously, we're then producing all the detailed drawings for your project, as well as going right down to fabrication detailing if that's what you require. Now, any of these models can be shared out. We have intelligent links from both ProtaSteel and ProtaStructure out to BIM links out to, say, Revit or Tekla or Allplan. All the details that you see can be seamlessly linked out to those platforms. We've also enhanced our ProtaBIM platform, so it now has new integration with Revit 2020, and there's enhancements and fixes associated with that. We've also introduced new IFC links. We're working very hard on this, so you're going to see more and more capability with IFCs as we go. So just to conclude, thank you very much for coming, attending today. We're making many inroads around the world, and software is being used by some fantastic practices globally. Just to share with you some of the projects, these are some projects in Malaysia. We've got projects going on in London, even in Hong Kong. Even things like King's Palaces are being designed in the software. So it's really interesting seeing all these unique and interesting projects coming in to to see our team. We are striving to create exceptional value and really differentiate ourselves from others. And to do this, we're not just providing a building design solution, we're also providing a complete drawing management system. It has complete drawing capabilities, full component design, quantities takeoff. You saw with ProtaSteel that we're also providing full automated connection design, steel detailing, as well as shop drawings and quantities takeoff. And we are providing leading integration with other BIM platforms. So we're really trying to create one complete system that's fully integrated. You invest in Prota, you get everything, and all of this is allowing you to go end to end with the delivery of your projects. I hope you like what we covered today. We are a leader in BIM technology, and we are investing heavily in development. Okay, for our users, thank you very much for your continued support. Please continue to talk to us through your support channels. Okay, you're more than welcome to send over any questions you have on using the software. We love hearing from you. For those new to ProtaStructure, we've got some very special offers that we're introducing available with the 2019 version at present, and this is backed with direct technical support and updates during this period. So if you are interested in the system, please email us through globalsales@protasoftware.com or at asiasales@protasoftware.com. You can also grab us on our website, and we'll be more than happy to answer any queries that you may have on the software. Do follow us. We are on social media, so you can grab us through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. We're available across a range of different channels to get updated with what we're up to. So finally, I'd just like to thank you very much for attending today. I know I've covered a lot of ground. I hope that was informative. I know we had a few glitches. I hope you'll forgive me for that. And we are looking forward to working with you now and in the years to come. So thank you very much for today. I appreciate the time that you've taken, and we look forward to continuing to be of support. Thank you.